Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? Thank you for hanging out with the fellow KGB channel here tonight. We're going to be doing our Thursday night hangout. We're just going to be going over some questions. I'll cover some news and some things that I found. I'm just going to be looking at the. I'll pop up a screen share in a second. But hey, man, what's going on, Aiden? Thanks for hanging out tonight. Hope your Thursday evening's going good. We'll probably get some more people in here later, but fire up your questions. We'll get to those in a second. I did want to kind of cover a few things. Let me add a screen share real quick. And I'm just looking at this is Roto World. It's technically NBC Sports Edge now, but we're just looking at what they have to offer for news bits real quick. Let's take a look here. So I'm just going to go to NBA and we'll just go to NBA Home. We can even click on headlines, but some of the headlines here: DeAndre Bembry is going to start tonight. Kyle Lowry is out with a thumb injury. You got Kyle Lowry out at least 2 games. That's the report here. Maybe I'll just I'm going to go to NBA player news, and that's kind of a good one. What's going on, Justin? Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. I'm just kind of covering some quick news and notes. We can get to questions and stuff in a little bit here, but Kyle Lowry is out tonight. We got OG Anunoby, who he played in his first game in like over a week and a half or so, maybe 2 weeks, and he's on a minutes restriction, if you could call it that. They said 30 to 32, which is kind of what he would average if he was healthy. So it's good to see OG Anunoby back at full strength for the Raptors. Yuta Watanabe will play. I guess that's interesting. Some Frank Kaminsky news, nothing really too crazy here. Let's see. JaMychal Green's going to play tomorrow. JaMychal Green's an interesting guy. I don't think I had him on my watch list, but let me just pull up JaMychal Green. If you guys do need an interesting player to monitor, Paul Millsap has been out. So I'm going to pull up JaMychal Green here on the screen share. Let me zoom a little bit. He just had a monster game. This was last night. He played 30 minutes, 9 points, 10 boards, 2 assists, and 4 blocks. That's a 35-point game for fantasy points. So a really solid game here. We know Paul Millsap is injured. I'm not sure the severity of Paul Millsap's injury, but JaMychal Green has showed when he gets high minutes, he's going to be a productive floor. So this is definitely someone to keep an eye on. And then while we're here, let me just take a look at Paul Millsap real quick. Paul Millsap remains out. Let's see here. He's got a sprained left knee, not really having a timetable here. So it might be a little bit here before we see Paul Millsap again. So JaMychal Green is an interesting option if you guys need someone off the waiver wire there. Let me see what else. Draymond Green, questionable. Gary Harris is out for tomorrow night's game against the Cavaliers. Let me see what else we got going on here for player news. Shake Milton's doubtful for tomorrow night against the Bulls. Ben Simmons is probable with the flu. Daniel Tice, this one's interesting. He's kind of like a fringe guy in a lot of leagues here. It's not on the injury report for Friday, so that means he's probably coming back. Let me just pull up Daniel Tice's numbers real quick. Tice is one of those guys, like if you're in a 12-man league, he should be rostered, I believe. He's averaging 21 points on the season, but before that, he's actually kind of peaking here, 26, 35, 20, 25. So Daniel Tice, he's not on the injury report tomorrow. He had a finger injury, a sprained right finger, so it looks like he's going to be playing again. He's only 16.8% owned, so he's definitely a guy to keep an eye on. We can maybe get into a mock in a little bit, Aiden. Maybe towards the back half of the show. We'll go live for about an hour tonight, but maybe in a little bit we can get into one. Steven Adams is doubtful. That's going to be interesting. You're going to have Willie Hernan Gomez step into some more minutes. I'm just kind of looking around. Kyrie Irving, he's going to play tonight. That's interesting. Jaylen Brown questionable for tomorrow. Of course, this came out a little bit ago. The Mavericks and the Rockets game has been postponed for tomorrow night. Let me see what else we got here. This one's kind of interesting. If you're a Jaren Jackson Jr. holder, he's been participating in practices to a certain degree. So to me, that's not a very promising news. He might be a little bit farther away than we thought. So it's extremely vague, of course, but he's moving into the right direction, but I still don't know if we're going to see him until after the All-Star break. So hopefully we get some more Jaren Jackson news. Yeah, and the no Luka, that one hurt me as well. I need Luka right now this week. I'm in a tough matchup where I got to beat my dad. But let's see what else we got here. There's the Kyle Lowry sprained left thumb. Evan Fournier listed as probable. He's going to come back. Let's see. The NBA announced on Thursday that the All-Star game will officially be held on March 7th in Atlanta. That's fun. James Ennis, we kind of talked about him in the waiver wire show. Lauri Markkanen is doing some conditioning work. It's a shoulder injury, so he should be able to run and stuff as almost as normal. So he's probably going to get his conditioning up pretty significantly before he's ready to play with that shoulder. So that's good news there. Let me see what else we got. Juan Toscano-Anderson's been playing good. Kelly Oubre had a good night the other night. There's Willie Hernan-Gomez. He had a pretty good night. He had season-high 17 rebounds. And again, Steven Adams is not he's not playing. So let me just pull up Willie here. Because these guys play, what is it, tomorrow night against Phoenix. They already ruled Steven Adams out. And the man just had 11 points, 17 rebounds, no assists, steals, or blocks. But when he gets minutes, he plays really well. So if you guys need to pick somebody up just for a night, Willie Hernan-Gomez, potential option there. He's pretty productive even when Steven Adams is on the court. So this is definitely a guy I think I'm going to have to add to the watch list. We'll talk about him a little bit more on Monday night. But that's a good option there for you guys. And I'm not really sure if there's any other more news here. I'm looking just at the top headlines and everything here. It seems pretty status quo. So we'll bounce over here. But Josh Jackson or Plumlee, what are we looking at for those? What are we looking at for Detroit here? Let me filter by team. So they play tomorrow night against Memphis. Jackson or Plumlee? Do I have to pick between the two? I mean, Plumlee's been hot. When he plays, he's been playing really, really well. And yeah, I don't know. The schedule this week it really sucked. Like Tuesday and Thursday were not a lot of games. All the games are on Wednesday and Friday. So the scheduling conflict, not the greatest. It's kind of been frustrating. I'm just kind of looking real quick here. The Pistons. I mean, I still like Josh Jackson. Plumlee's been playing really well, but so has Josh Jackson. Plumlee maybe a higher floor. Depends if you need a center. I'll go with Mason Plumlee there. But yeah, the schedule's been pretty stupid tonight, or this whole week actually. I'm gonna pop over to the watch list and we'll just check in and see how some of our guys are doing from our waiver wire watch list. Let me filter by last 7. Let's see what's going on here. Looks like Jeremy Lamb's kind of popping back up. Jakob Poeltl, man, you got to check this guy out. When he comes back from their little COVID, spree, he should be back into some good minutes there. Terrence Ross, this is the one that I really wanted to talk about. He's just been dealing. We know Evan Fournier and probably James Ennis is coming back, but Terrence Ross has just been scoring buckets lately. 30 minutes against New York last night, 30 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 49.5 points. He's been on a bender lately, 38, almost 32, 35, 30. Terrence Ross needs to be owned, guys. He's about 43.4% owned, under 50%. That means he's likely available in your league. I don't care if it's maybe an 8-man league. That's where it gets questionable. But a 10, 12-man league, I think Terrence Ross needs to be owned even when Fournier comes back. Because Terrence Ross, he's a good scorer. And it seems like it took him a little while to get into a streaky stretch here. But he's definitely playing his best ball this season right now. So I love to see that. TJ McConnell, Derek White. So all the Spurs were kind of on hold with the Spurs. We'll see when they can get back into some things. TJ McConnell. We can take a peek at Zion. Let me pull up Zion real quick here. We'll get to another tab. Carson Wentz. You guys see the Carson Wentz trade today? Pretty interesting for Colts fans. Big news for Jalen Hurts fans too. That's pretty monumental move. So Zion Williamson, what are we looking for with Mr. Zion? So he's been back-to-back 50-point games, so he's starting to peak here. 36, that might be his season high for points. 36, he had that a couple games ago. So Zion is scoring. He's scoring at a higher clip than he has. You look at his last 7 days, the minutes are kind of the same, but he's scoring almost 7 more points per game. Rebounds are down a bit, but assists are up. Steals a little bit up, and blocks about the same. So he's playing some really good ball right now. He's scoring the ball at a high clip. You like to see back 3 out of his last 4 games over 30 points, a 29 and 29 in there. So Zion's starting to hit his stride with the Pelicans. So some really strong numbers there. We got Morris Sr. or Rui Hachimura. I'm assuming this is for your 4-man league, Aiden, huh? Let me just pull up a compare numbers here. Rui or Marcus Morris Sr. Oh, I forgot to click Rui. Click on Rui Hachimura. Okay, so on the season, Marcus Morris only 20.4 fantasy points to Rui's 23.7. Now, with your 4-man league, it's probably more of like a pump and dump situation where you're probably just going to keep riding the hot hand off the waiver wire. So right now, it's Marcus Morris, averaging 30 points per game, 25 for Rui. But the thing with Marcus Morris is we know Paul George has been hurt. I believe Kawhi Leonard missed some games the other night as well. So yeah, Paul George, Kawhi, Nicholas Batum concussion. So Morris looks to be he's probably got the best juice right now. You see the last 3 games here, 30 games, 12.5. That's kind of what you're worried about is some of these dips. But he's getting minutes. He's a really good scorer. I don't know if you're going to consistently see him hit the 20 or 30 mark. But it's pretty interesting. And then, okay, you got your numbers here. Ruri averaging 20, 221, and Morris. If that's the case, I'm probably just going to go with Ruri because he's got a longer shelf life to me. I'd rather hold on to Ruri. He's more consistent. You don't really have to worry about a lot of these points. I think he's in a good space. And I think Morris is more of just a guy that as long as Paul George and Kawhi are out, that's when he's going to feast. So I think Ruri is probably the better long-term play. That's probably where I would lean there. And I'm streaming daily. Need to pick up since no Luka tomorrow. Okay, this is fun. Let's see who we can find. So if that's a 4-man league, I'm not sure like what percentage players I should be looking that would be available. Like who are some of your who are some of your top available players and like what are their percents available? That would help me. So I'm just gonna filter by about 100%. I'm assuming you guys are doing pretty good here. So let's kind of get into some of maybe these low 80s, these low 90s, or actually let's just filter by fantasy points and see how this goes. So Giannis has been on bender. 69 points. Let's see here. Anybody stick out? Terry Rozier's out, of course, with Charlotte. That's unfortunate. Jakob Pertl was banging. Kyle Anderson? Is Kyle Anderson available? This guy's putting up points. He just had a 50 burger last night, 75 or lower. Kyle Anderson's really close. Dang it, 79.7. Let me see. Terrence Ross, man. Terrence Ross has been hot. We just looked at his numbers real quick. He's had 5 straight games for this scoring at least. He's been over. He's probably, you have him, of course. He's a 3-point baller, so that makes sense for your scoring system. Let me go to the next page here. I'm assuming Lou Williams is Lou Williams available? He's 77.9%, but Lou Williams would be a good call right now. Let me see who else we got. Mason Plumlee. If you can get Plumlee, I don't mind getting Plumlee because you have mad points for rebounds. And he doesn't really get a lot of blocks, but it does come around. So I think Plumlee could be an interesting play. TJ McConnell. Hassan Whiteside. This one's really interesting. I mean, did you see what Hassan Whiteside did the other day? 26 and 16. Now, this is like directly tied to Rashawn Holmes. So let me see. I know Hassan Whiteside, if Rashawn Holmes is out, this could be a really good play for you tomorrow night with Hassan Whiteside. So he was ruled out for Thursday's game. Oh, they play tonight. My bad. They play tonight. So we're looking for guys that play tomorrow night. So this is all February. Here, let's actually, if we can filter by the 19th. Who plays on the 19th? There we go. And then let's hit all available. And then I'm going to filter by percent rostered here real quick. Let's see what we can dig up. So this is a different 4-person, the scoring heavy. So it's you want scorers essentially is what you're saying. So we want mad scorers. So I'm looking right here at about 75% owned. Is Anthony Edwards available? He's been kind of streaky, but he puts up some big points lately. Anthony Edwards could be kind of fun tomorrow night. Let me see who he plays. Against Toronto, I could see that being interesting. He's about 75.1% owned, so that could be a pretty good play there. DeMarcus Cousins, game postponed. I would have probably been interested in him. Bobby Portis has been playing really good. He does hit some threes, and he's been scoring really consistently too. I don't know what Bobby Portis's numbers look like in that scoring system, but he's been playing some pretty good ball. Terrence Ross, man, I just wanted to answer with Terrence Ross. What about a guy like Darius Bazley here? He's only 32.9% owned. But his last game against Milwaukee, he had 18 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals. He's been playing some pretty good minutes lately too. Bazley is very interesting. I still think if he's taken, I picked him up for Lou. Let me see here. So you're looking at Morris. You're looking at potentially what's up with Jason? That game's postponed. I wish I could filter things a little bit more. sticky here. You can pick up Basley. Okay, Basley he's probably towards the top of the list. But Aiden, are you telling me you can pick up one of the Pistons guys in Josh Jackson or Mason Plumlee? Because that might be the play. Let me go back. Let me go back a page here. Where was Plumlee? If you can pick up Plumlee, I think that's against Memphis. They don't really have a true center. I guess Valanciunas is pretty good. Let me see if they've played against each other lately. They haven't. So you already have them. Okay, interesting. What was Anthony Edwards available? That he's right on the fence. I'm assuming that's what the he's taken about was from. I mean, a guy like Norman Powell. Nas, so good player. Nas, Dort, Richardson. Let me look at Nas Reed. I'd be interested. I'd be more interested in Nas Reed if there was no Karl Anthony Towns. I'm thinking it's Basley right now. Picked up Ant and dropped Dort. Are you interested in a guy like Bobby Portis at all? Bobby Portis is like, as a casual Bucks fan, I'm probably a little bit more than a casual Bucks fan, but I actually think the Bucks probably need to play Bobby Portis a little bit more than what they've been playing him. And Brook Lopez is good, but he just doesn't fit the run and gun offense that Giannis likes to, especially with Drew Holiday too. The Bucks like to move a lot. So dang it, Bobby's taken. Yeah, Bobby Portis is a fantastic fantasy basketball player right now. He's under 62% owned. So if you're watching this, Bobby Portis might be worth a definite look into. What about Ricky Rubio, man? Is Ricky Rubio available? 56% owned. He just popped off for 20 and 13 the other night here. We know. We do know that D'Angelo Henderson's out, or D'Angelo Russell is out for a while. So maybe Ricky Rubio, if Diallo quickly Lamb. Man, if you can get I think if Rubio's available, that might seal the deal for me. But I do like Diallo as well. He had a decent game against Milwaukee. He didn't score a lot. That was kind of a down game for him, but the 13 boards was pretty nice. So I'm kind of into Diallo. Who does Jeremy Lamb play? Let me see what Lamb plays. So Lamb's going to play the 19th. Lamb does not play tomorrow, unfortunately. Rubio sucks in the format, so it's not a big assist format then, is it? Let me just see here. Anybody playing tomorrow? Dwayne Bacon. What about a guy like Royce O'Neal? He's not really a scorer. Okay, maybe this is tough. Thad. Ooh, Thaddeus Young. Ooh, maybe Kevin Huerter. Let me do some comparing here. I mean, I love Thaddeus Young because he kind of just filled all of the stat categories. So let me just kind of just enter some names in here. And then you got Howard the Duck. Assuming it's Dwight. I'm probably going to tell you to do Thaddeus Young. He's a good scorer. He's going to probably get over double digits. It's the rebounding. It's the assists. I don't know how Thad's numbers look in your scoring system, but he's getting steals too every game. So Thaddeus Young's probably the safest play for just one night. And who do they play? They play Philadelphia. I could see him having a decent game against Philadelphia. Otherwise, Kevin Huerter, man. Like if you want to go for like a high upside play, you can maybe hit one of these 20 or 19-point games. Hopefully he pops off with some assists. Kevin Huerter might be the more fun play. So if you're looking for a guy, I think we kind of gave you a handful of names. You can pick up Royce. Does Royce score good points in your scoring system? Royce O'Neal. Royce is a good player. I don't know if he's going to be an attractive player in your scoring system. 224 average between Morris and Howard. Yeah, let me just throw Morris in here. I don't know how many players I can add to this queue. So they play Utah tomorrow. Well, if we know Kawhi and Paul George are going to be out tomorrow, I think I would be okay with going with Marcus Morris. Bertans went. Did anyone have Bertans? Is Bertans available? because he went off last night. That was pretty nuts. Davis Bertans and then Will Barton. Barton. Yeah, Bertans is a freak. I think he should be owned right now. I mean, I'm kind of interested in one of the OKC guys. I don't know if you just need a guy for a game. I do think Basley's probably going to get a lot of run. He dropped 800 points in one game with all the threes. How many threes did he hit? Because he had, what, 35 points? Did he hit like 9 threes or something? What did Birdie hit? Davis Bertans. So, man, he hit 9 threes. 9 of 11. That's insane. He's been kind of trending towards the right direction, too. He kind of got over his little humps. And then I noticed some just consistently high floors here, and I didn't see that coming, but I figured he would start to turn things around. So I think if we're looking at the list of players that I have on here so far, I do like Basley. He's not going to be your 3-point nightmare. If you want a guy that's going to hit threes, it's probably going to be Kevin Huerter. But maybe, I don't know. I think Thaddeus Young's a really safe play. If you need a guy just for a night, it could be Marcus Morris. If you hear Paul George, Kawhi Leonard are not in, but otherwise, I think I don't mind Basley too. So I think that's a good queue of names for you to kind of make your decision with. I like all those guys there, but I am kind of curious. Maybe we can kind of look. Let's just go look and see what's going on with the NBA 3-pointers. See who's making the most threes. So you have 5 out of the top 8 in the format. Luka, Westbrook, Embiid. Nice. So we're just gonna go filter by player statistics, and we're gonna look at 3-pointers made per game. So I'm just kind of looking here. I don't know. Does Duncan Robinson play tomorrow night? Maybe Jordan Clarkson. What's Clarkson up to? Gary Trent Jr. Yeah, he's probably owned. I mean, Gary Trent. Do you already have Gary Trent? I'm pretty sure you have Gary Trent. He's under 50% owned. You own Carlson. Who's Carlson? Clarkson. Okay. And then I'm assuming you own Gary Trent as well, because Gary Trent's up here at 14. Yes. What about Tim Hardaway Jr.? Does Tim Hardaway? Oh, that's Dallas. They don't play tomorrow night. God dang it. Birdie, man. Birdie's up here. Markkanen, Mike Conley, Lowry, Tatum, Eric Gordon. What about a guy like Wayne Ellington? What's Wayne Ellington been doing? So Wayne Ellington, he's only 2 points. Oh, he's been dipping. He was so hot before too. What happened? He was averaging like 25 plus a clip, and then he just kind of fell off. I don't like that anymore. That's stinky. Jeremy Grant's a beast. Graham, can you get Devonte Graham? Like, I don't think Charlotte's playing this week though. That's interesting. And then that's the same thing with the Spurs. I think Spurs and Charlotte are out throughout the weekend. We're not going to probably see those guys. And then I do think did the Houston game get postponed? I thought I saw the Houston game got postponed, but maybe if Eric Gordon's available, I could see Eric Gordon maybe being a potential player here. But I was pretty sure, yeah, that's because they play Dallas. Yeah, they play Dallas. So Justin Holiday's on the list, huh? Yeah, he's at 42. Let's pull up Justin Holiday's numbers real quick. They don't play tomorrow night. They play on the 20th. But I still really like Justin Holiday. I don't know why he's under 50% owned. I think he should be. He's a really safe, high floor player there. You got a guy like Jay Crowder. Crowder plays tomorrow night, so this could be in play against New Orleans. I kind of like Crowder. I don't think he's a big 3-point guy, but he's gonna get he's gonna be healthy for points. I kind of view him kind of almost in the same light as a Thaddeus Young. I think I might prefer Thaddeus over Jay Crowder, but he does hit a handful of threes. What about Jingles? Joe Ingles? Joe Ingles? Joe Ingles. Ingles has been on a bender lately too. He's been putting up some mad points, 14, 20, 27, and 24. Ooh, Grayson. Grayson's a good one. I would let me know how many points per game Joe Ingles has been getting, just like the last 5 games, because Ingles might be the move. He's under 60, about 64% owned, so that might be kind of nice. And then yeah, Grayson Allen, Garrison, Gary Allen, Grayson Allen. So he's been kind of hot. Grayson, dang it, so he is owned. Grayson might be kind of fun. Let me see who they play. They play Detroit. I don't mind the Grayson Allen call. If you just need a hero for a night, Grayson Allen could be a guy that pops off for 20. There's probably going to be some garbage time for them. I'm assuming Norman Powell is owned in your league. That would make sense. I don't think he should be floating around. That would be kind of crazy. Let me see if I can just show some more here. Jamal Murray, Trae Young, Evan Fournier, Kevin Huerter. I mean, if you're looking for purely three-point shooters, it's probably Kevin Huerter that makes the most sense. I didn't mind Joe Ingles. If Ingles is available, unless that's who you're talking about, Ingles, Allen, Sadiq Bey, Finney Smith. Yeah, but Finney's on Dallas, so they're not playing tomorrow night. But again, if you just need a guy for a night, I wouldn't worry too much about threes. Just try to collect your 200 plus points. But I think that's kind of because this is technically your worst player out of your team. So if you just kind of just make sure you cover your bases. That's why I think a guy like Thaddeus Young, I don't know, what is Thaddeus Young average per game? That might be an interesting move. If he can get like 225 points, I think that could be nice. Tyler Johnson, so he feels a little bit too risky. I think I'd rather get a guy like Thaddeus Young, Marcus Morris, Darius Bazley. I do like the potential, but I'd be nervous to get one of these 2-point games or a 4-point game out of Tyler Johnson. Sadiq Bey, maybe we go with the Bey. We haven't seen Sadiq Bey play in a little bit here. It was last night. He played pretty well. I don't know if he's much of a big 3-point shooter here. 1 for 5 last night. I can go with Bey if you want to go with Bey. Ooh, is Ingles available? Because I think if Joe Ingles is available, that's probably going to be the guy that I would roll with. And Simons, I like Simons. He's pretty consistent. But man, Ingles, man, Ingles is not available. Dang it. Simons is interesting. I don't know if I love him. Ogilvy. Let me take a look at Ogilvy. I mean, you're going to be betting on him popping off for a game. I think. Give me one of those, Thaddeus Youngs, Bazleys. Give me one of those more consistent guys. I think. What about Malik Monk's on Charlotte? They're probably not playing tomorrow night. Trying to think who else was available here. I mean, Justin Holiday's not playing. Justin Jackson. I mean, if you like Justin Jackson. So I dabbled with. So the other night when I went to go make a pickup for just one night, I messed up and I picked up Justin Jackson and I should have picked up Davis Bertans. So that did not go very well. I like Justin Jackson. I don't think we can trust it. Give me one of the guys that we can trust. So, and if you're going to take an Oklahoma City Thunder guy, you should just take Bazley. Just take Bazley. That's probably the way to go. He's a consistent scorer, pretty high clip. He's a good rebounder. He kind of pivot. He pitches in on all categories. What does Darius Bazley average per game? Just look at his last 7 days, maybe. Or something like that. Just see what he's been averaging the last few games. Are you telling me Kobe White's available? Derek White? I hope that's Kobe White. If Kobe White is available, they play Philadelphia tomorrow. 261. Interesting. You did say Corey Joseph too. I picked up Corey Joseph in one of my in one of my big money leagues. I'm playing Corey Joseph tomorrow night. I don't know if that's something I would recommend in your format, but he has been scoring better. I don't know. I'm starting Corey Joseph here. I'll show you. In my this is my big money league, and I got Corey Joseph going tonight. They play tomorrow night here. Or they don't play tomorrow night. Are you trying to get a guy for tonight or tomorrow night? I thought it was Friday night to replace Luka. So Corey Joseph doesn't play tomorrow night. Let me see what else we got here. Jeff Green was J. Michael Green's playing tonight. Let me tomorrow's games. Yeah, let's click on tomorrow's games, and we'll just click on all available. Go to page 2. What about a guy like Dante DiVincenzo? Is DiVincenzo owned? DiVincenzo, what I like about him is he's going to get minutes. He's very active on defense. He does hit threes in kind of spurts. He was 5 of 7 on the 14th here against Oklahoma City Thunder, which is who they play tomorrow night. So he hit 5 threes just a week ago against them. He had 8 boards, 2 assists, and 1 steal in that game. I don't know if DiVincenzo's available. I kind of like this play. I mean, he does have a pretty bad floor. You know, he can't have that, but he does. He has been scoring a little bit better the last month or so for the Bucks. And Drew Holiday remains to be out. So Dante DiVincenzo, I could see that being a pretty good play. I kind of like that. I don't know how you feel about that one, but I'm kind of into DiVincenzo. Otherwise, I mean, if you just want the threes, man, let's just focus on threes. Let's get Herder or DiVincenzo. And I think I'll let you choose between those two. But yeah, we finally settled on that. I think DiVincenzo is probably the play. Bucks versus OKC tomorrow night. So we're just looking at a couple other things here. But I just want to kind of filter and just look and see who's been playing the best in the last 7 days, and we'll kind of call up some names here. We'll filter by averages. So I'm just kind of calling out some names who might be best available. Kyle Anderson, again, I don't know why he put up a 50 burger, but he's under 80% owned, which I think is just pretty strange. He's averaging over 30 points on the season. So Kyle Anderson, I mean, if you hold Kyle Anderson, you're probably not going to trade him after you see a 50, but very productive player. We know Jaren Jackson's coming back at some point, so maybe it's time to move on from Kyle Anderson. I don't know. The minutes could get constricted a little bit, but I'm going to go back to Terrence Ross. I think Terrence Ross is probably the best pickup of the week right now. I mean, he's peaking too. He's up about 10% in the last couple of days here with that massive game last night. Let me see if anybody else here. Lou Williams has been on a hot streak with Kawhi and Paul George injured. Mason Plumlee, we've talked about him tonight. Anthony Edwards, I think on Tuesday night we talked a lot about him, and he should be owned. He's gonna be pretty much the main guy for the Timberwolves the rest of this season. He's going to be their best scoring option besides Karl-Anthony Towns. Maybe Malik Beasley is going to step it up a little bit too, but I just think with Anthony Edwards, there's going to be a lot of minutes and a lot of shots for him. Kuzma, Bagley, Jordan, Nunn. You can get Kuzma? Is Kuzma available, sir? Kuzma? Kyle Kuzma? So he didn't have a good game the other night, but before that, he had been playing really good ball. I mean, I would kind of put him in the same bucket of a Dante DiVincenzo, but with Anthony Davis out for the next 2 or 3 weeks, Kuzma is probably worth just holding on. I think I'm going to put Kuzma ahead of Dante DiVincenzo because he's got value for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Can you tell me what Kuzma has been averaging the last 7 to 10 days, maybe even the last 15 days? He's been playing really good ball lately. And then Marvin Bagley. Marvin Bagley's playing tonight, so not tomorrow night. But I do like Bagley. I just a little bit inconsistent for my likings. Not going to be a 3-point guy. DeAndre Jordan. Does he play? Looks like he doesn't play till Sunday, so that's probably not a good pickup right now. And then Kendrick Nunn. Nunn's not playing. He's playing tonight and not tomorrow night. So Kuzma. If you need a guy for tomorrow night, I think it's who does Kuzma play? Kuz does not play tomorrow night. Unfortunate. So he's not playing tomorrow night. He does play Saturday. I think if this is probably the way that I would play it, maybe you pick up DiVincenzo to play tomorrow night, and then as soon as that game starts, you can dump him for Kuzma, and then put Kuzma in for Saturday. Maybe that's the way. Maybe that's probably the right way to play it here. So we're going on about 35 minutes. We don't have a lot of people in the chat room tonight. What's everyone got going on Thursday nights? I'll probably hang out for just a couple more minutes, Aiden. If you have any more final questions or any players you want me to look at, I can kind of just throw it to you and see what else here is on your mind. But man, Davis Bertans, guys, he's probably going to be the hottest pickup over the weekend here. He just went off last night. Yeah, Wisconsin got dumped with snow. We had a record 18 inches in like the city over. So 18 inches got dumped on us on I think that was Monday night. Yeah, Monday night. But Davis Bertans, man, definitely go at him if you can. He's been playing better. He had been really inconsistent, but he's putting more effort, I think, into the rebounds and just getting the ball out and stealing the ball. So Bertans, I think at this point he needs to be owned. So really fun option there. DeMar DeRozan. So DeRozan's interesting. He's the best scoring threat for the Spurs. Spurs, who knows how long they're out for. Spurs' next 4 games, including Tuesday's schedule against Detroit, have been postponed. So we're supposed to play Detroit. I don't know how long they're going to be out for. I like DeRozan quite a bit, but he's not a guy that I'm attached to. Like if I have DeRozan, I'd probably try to move him after like a really big game because he does have some lapses every now and then. But he's a top end player. If you can acquire him maybe right now for cheap, I mean he's kind of just the if you like him you like him kind of thing. I don't really have a preference for him, but I like a lot of the Spurs 1, 2, and 3 guards. So I think there's a lot of playing time up for grabs there. So I don't mind potentially trying to move DeMar DeRozan if I can. But I don't know. Anybody else we need to look at here? Who's playing tonight? Let me just check out the games going on right now. Tyler Hero, huh? Tyler Hero. So Tyler Hero, he's been back to his normal self lately. I mean, if you can get Hero in a trade, I totally would try to move to do it. I mean, he's averaging 29.6 points per game on the season, but if we filter by his last 7 days, he's up to 35. So you probably have to trade, someone of equal value in that 35-point range. But I think we're probably going to see him just continue to get better as the season goes on. You love the minutes. You love the minutes here. I do think Tyler Hero is worth it. And then Fred VanVleet. VanVleet, man. Just the last 7 days, he's averaging 38.2 points. On the season, he's actually on a downtrend right now. So he's probably going to pop off against Milwaukee tonight with no Kyle Lowry. So it might be kind of hard to get him. But if you took Fred VanVleet somewhere in that 4th, 5th round, you're probably feeling really, really good. So I like the Fred VanVleet right now. Damian Lillard, man, I got beat up pretty bad by Damian last night. He just torched. He just torched New Orleans there for 43 and 16 dimes, 72 points. I think that's his season high for fantasy points. So it was really good to see Damian Lillard kind of pop back. 7 of 16 from 3. So 3 straight double-doubles for the man. Dame Lillard playing at the best of his season so far, I would say. I just want to pop in and see. So we got the Bucks Raptors tonight. That game is probably about to tip off. So I'm gonna get out of here. Then you get the Nets and the Lakers. Both these games are on TNT tonight. So even though there's not a lot of basketball, you get the Bucks, the Raptors, you get the Nets and the Lakers. That's pretty good TV tonight. Is Kyrie? I think we're still waiting to see if Kyrie's playing. Heat and the Kings though at the nightcap here. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna get out of here for the evening. It was fun hanging and talking basketball with you, Aiden, sir. We can look into some of these guys. These guys are both fantastic, though. Sabonis and Julius Randle. I love both those players. But I'm going to get out of here. We got a Bucks game about to tip off here. So thank you for hanging out. Have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see you guys in another video. Thanks. Peace.